Susie, I want to talk to you about an email that I read from Anne, who wrote to you about her son, Ethan. Could you share that story with us?
Yes, I can.
And Ethan is a non-verbal child who uses
yes.
a board?
Yes. Well, Ethan has been nonverbal. He's using facilitated communication at this point. So there's, a little bit of support at the elbow, and the child is then kind of pointing out different letters, spelling things out. So Anne had sent me an email not too long ago, and she just said, I've been finding that Ethan has all this knowing about stuff and people and situations, and I had no idea that he knew about. I asked him about you and about awesomeism. He just typed this with me. I'm a 2, please. Just feel the love Susie teaches. She gives healers real good sense, the good heart. She talks to the friends you are. Please give my heart friends thank you and good heart and good sense. And Anne said, do you have anything else that you want to say? And he said, yes, her, Susie, and I feel that you are going to learn a lot from my autism. So.
And would Anne agree that she's learned a lot?
Oh, I think she probably would, yeah. And I just, I'll tell you, it's one thing to hear, this interview has been fabulous because it's one thing to, like Bill was saying, you do this research or you do this work because it's what you know to do. It's what needs to be done. And on the other hand, when you have, the parents of these children, or even more importantly, the children themselves, who kind of say, yeah, you're going down the right track, you're doing the right thing, keep going, it makes a huge impact. I can't say what a huge impact it makes. So thanks, Anne, and thanks, Ethan, for sending that.
And tell us about the communication you had from Rachel and Anthony in Australia as well.
Okay. Yeah, Rachel lives in Western Australia. She's a family of 5, 2 adults and 3 children that are all diagnosed on the spectrum. The youngest child in her family is nonverbal and is the only child that's officially connected to the experiment or officially participating. And she said that the first day upon registering for the experiment, her daughter was very calm and relaxed, very peaceful. She is normally very hyper and doesn't stop moving or climbing. Also, on the first day of the experiment, she said about 20 new words. These words were all in perfect content. A perfect example, she says, is when her older sister gave her an apple. She took the apple and said very clearly, thank you. And she said that they just couldn't believe what was taking place. And then over the last 3 months, she said that they've noticed the following improvements: using more words and new words all the time and appropriate use of those words. Also, a huge increase in affection. She is initiating affection by coming up and raising her arms to be picked up and hugged and cuddled. It's also the first time that she has ever said the words, I love you. She has a new skill of blowing kisses when she's going off to bed. She's initiating games like tickling games. She wants to be involved in interacting. She's initiating games also such as running and chasing. She wants to play in that way. She's showing more independence, like wanting to get into bed all by herself, them not having to put her to bed. And is even showing us, like, she was saying, look, Mom and Dad, I can just do this myself. She's much happier, smiling a lot more, really present in herself with bright eyes and making constant attempts to connect with family members. She's able to, even kind of motor skills, blowing bubbles, those kinds of things, blowing kisses, again, relevant. She's also showing when she's hungry. She used to just kind of sit and wait for people to give her what she needed, and now she's indicating that. Also, she says she's using appropriate ways to fill her sensory needs. So she's for instance, she's using a jungle gym to climb on instead of climbing on fences. And she's hanging on the monkey bars instead of swinging from something that might not necessarily be as safe to swing on. She said that her speech therapist has also commented on the improvements, that there's more interaction, more words and vocalization, more eye contact, increased interest in tasks, more smiling and laughter with appropriate facial responses. So that was about the little one. And then she was also saying that the two older children in the household are not officially in the experiment, but they've shown improvements. And the most obvious of those was that she noticed that they both seem to be more aware of their own skills and their gifts. There's just a stronger knowing of who they are and kind of what they're here to do. These children are verbal, so are able to communicate that information to her. She said they're being happy, feeling comfortable with what they think and feel and sense in a very new and different way, feeling their own presence. She also says that they know that the youngest child is a participant in the experiment, and both of them have seen huge improvements in their younger sister, and they've both asked if they could participate in the next one. So,
wow.
So there's some more kids who want to be part of it. So.
Now, I understand that people can actually support this incredible experiment by funding scholarships for families with donations.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can support funding, a family going through. You can offer a donation of any size that you would like to by going to the website. My website is SusieMiller.com. And once you go to SusieMiller.com, if you will, on the left-hand panel, there will be the Autism Intention Experiment, and it gives you a very clear, defined way to offer your donations. And those donations for people within the United States can be a tax-deductible donation as well. And there is actually a protocol to follow on that page so that you can receive that tax deduction.